Right, welcome back to Dewan Pundit Indonesia, the English version. Jebret team, we're about to ask a pretty tough question. Can Serie A strikers survive the Premier League? We've seen the case of Romelu Lukaku being dominant in Italy, but struggling to find rhythm at Chelsea, and now with Lautaro Martinez rising to Ballon d'Or levels at Inter, the question grows louder. Is the Premier League simply not built for these kinds of forwards, or is it about the system, or the style, or maybe even the pressure itself? I think I'm going to go to Firzi first now.
Yeah, with Lukaku, yeah, he resigned with Chelsea. I think we can all see with the way he plays for Chelsea under Thomas Tuchel. I think there's a lot of things went wrong back then. He was the club record transfer fee for almost 100 million, and I think he scored like something like 40 goals with Inter for 2 seasons before that. And when he came back, it's just he just played for like under a year, and then the club loaned him out. I think there's a lot of things in play here. I think like when he came into Chelsea after scoring like 24 goals and 11 assists for Inter, but he got injuries. And he came not long after he came, he got coronavirus, and when he plays also, he doesn't really suit the system that Thomas Tuchel wants to play. It's not that he's a bad player. We can see him with Napoli right now under the right tutelage, under the right coach. He can be a world beater. We see it a few times down his career. Yeah, but it's not like he can't do it in the Premier League, because he proved it that he can. He proved it in his loan spell with West Brom, with Chelsea the first time. He can be that driving force, but it's just not work with Chelsea the second time. A lot of factors coming in, but if we talk also about Serie A strikers in England, we gotta talk also about Rasmus Haaland. His struggles in Man United.
Everybody
struggles in Man United. But I got notes from like the few DPI episodes when he was coming into Man United, and back then I said this is a risky business at best for Man United, because this is a player whose goals in Serie A is against Monza, Spezia, Salernitana, Lecce, Empoli, and Hellas Verona. It's not like he scored against the elite teams in Serie A. He's struggling for goals against. I think he's only got one full season in Atalanta before Man United coming in. A lot of factors, especially the high transfer fees, also plays in the mind of Lukaku also, and Rasmus Haaland also. But Lautaro, I don't know if he.
If he's going to Arsenal?
He was going to Arsenal because the name is
secret or not. Lautaro Martinez.
Because the name is running down there.
Yeah. We've been hearing a lot about his
Lautaro is a great player, potential Ballon d'Or with maybe Rafinha. His instinct is unbelievable. The finish is unreal. Finds spaces in very, very tight situations. So he's potentially going to be a great player, and maybe he fits that system that Mikel is playing with at Arsenal. But if the likes of Chelsea comes for him, I think he'll choose Chelsea. But I think that system at Chelsea now is still not the best for Lautaro. That environment is not the best for Lautaro. Lautaro has to come in to a side that is ready to challenge for a title, and he will become the addition that the likes of Arsenal, the likes of City, needs to improve next season in trying to reclaim for City, reclaiming the title from Liverpool. So I think he'll be a success, because he's the type of player that can adapt quickly, can figure out a way to play with whoever he will play with, the likes of Lukaku and then now Thuram. I think he has that great opportunity to become successful after coming from Inter to Arsenal, just like Dennis Bergkamp.
Do you think it's the right timing, though? I mean, we've seen a lot of strikers flourish in Serie A, but then fading into the background at the Premier League. Do you think it's time for him to finally start up?
I think it's time, because the potential of Ballon d'Or, the potential of Internazionale winning the Champions League.
Also.
Yeah, the treble. And then the money. You can't deny that the Premier League has that money that the Serie A can't offer. So that is something that maybe it's going to be an easy choice for Lautaro, because he has Alexis McAllister playing in England as well. So He can tell a lot of stories about the Premier League, about being successful with Liverpool, which I think Lautaro, if
Enzo is at Chelsea.
Enzo at Chelsea. So it's
maybe that's the magnet for Lautaro, having someone who he is familiar with, and who speaks the same language,
and it's London. Everybody wants to go to London. Everybody can settle there.
I don't want to go to London. It's expensive. The people are not polite.
But they can.
Well, you're not like those people.
We're not,
with the money that they
I'm
have.
not earning 100,000 pound per week.
There you are.
But I think
That's the difference.
if
There you
Lautaro,
go. That's the reason.
If Lautaro doesn't join Real Madrid or Barcelona, then it's the Premier League.
I think he chose La Liga instead of Premier League. Yeah, but we're talking about someone who has 24 goals and assists contribution this season in all competition. This guy, he registered 131 shots this season, far highest in Inter Milan. Next is Thuram with 83 shots. I think he commands the attacking side of Inter Milan. I think the team revolves around him. Attacking wise, he can score goals like crazy. He can score goals from inside the box, outside the box. He can score with his right foot, with his left foot. I think this is a complete striker, if there's any complete striker, and he can hold the ball up. His movements of the ball, I think, if Julian Alvarez can play that well for Manchester City, I think he can also be a game changer for whoever signs him in the Premier League. But it depends on his adaptation. It depends on how he settled in England, because it's not easy. We see a lot of players struggling to adapt to England. The weather there is not like the best.
No
there's always there. No sun for
7 days
months
straight.
And the food is crazily awful.
You can always go to Chinatown and get that $7.50. You can spend $7.50
on a duck.
No, on a buffet.
On a buffet.
Yeah. Right. So, what advice would you give to Lautaro Martinez if he is considering a move to the Premier League?
You go to Arsenal. Go to Arsenal. And make them win the title.
Go to Arsenal, make them win the title.
I think Lautaro, if he goes to Arsenal, then again, Arsenal will be in the conversation. They will be in that top 3 conversation.
Do you think Arsenal, like, they need more of a number 9?
Lautaro is flexible.
Really?
He can go from 11 to 10 to 9. He can go deep as well, like Harry Kane does. He can pick up the ball from midfield. He's dangerous in set pieces as well. So I think what Arsenal needs, he has it. And if Arsenal are serious in trying to get the title and not just qualifying for Champions League
every year,
so Lautaro,
they won the title, but in the end they only get Champions League.
That's you.
That's you.
Because Premier League is the bread and butter for every club that's playing in the Premier League. And for Mikel, I don't think they will win the Champions League too this season. But if he fails again next year, then it's the end for him. So Mikel needs to do his job, work very hard in the market, and trying to get the likes of Lautaro. Maybe they need 2. They need Gyökeres as well.
Any advice, Mas Firzi?
Yeah, I think it's better for him to go to somewhere where there's a connection, and so I think go to Chelsea. Chelsea with Enzo Fernandez, but also
which club in La Liga though?
Go to La Liga, Real, but I don't think they can fit another one of the big strikers. There's no possibilities, and with Barcelona they don't have the money. With Atletico they have that set of transfer policy. I don't think maybe Real Madrid, but they have Mbappe, so maybe
so it's the Premier League.
So it's the Premier League
or Saudi Arabia.
No, not Saudi yet. No.
Or PSG. I don't know.
PSG.
Yeah, because Enrique doesn't play with a true striker, right? He plays with that roaming false 9 striker. Maybe.
Yeah, but if he goes to Chelsea, then I don't want him to be the next Andriy Shevchenko. I want him to be like maybe Crespo.
Or Crespo, maybe.
Crespo was okay. But Chelsea is difficult because even Enzo Maresca right now, for me, he is successful with Chelsea. But the fans doesn't think so. They want a certain brand of football. I don't know which type of football that they want.
They got booed, right?
This is Chelsea, man. We're talking about Chelsea.
Who they don't have a certain way of playing.
They don't have an identity.
They don't have an identity.
They don't even have a good pitch to play on. It was called the beach for like Oh, how many seasons? 35 seasons. It was the beach. That was because Fulham moved to the other stadium, because that Fulham Road Stadium is horrible. So now we're talking about Maresca, with all those mercenaries and youngsters and blue chips all together. It's not easy, but I don't know, because they have this certain maybe idea that when Abramovich came in, it was straight away successful, but it was in a certain style with the oligarch money. And now even Newcastle can't do it. Newcastle has the same approach with the ownership coming in with a lot of money, but because of PSR, they can't dominate. So for Chelsea,
because we don't sell our women team to Chelsea always has a way to
sell something,
circumvent that PSR.
To make the money.
We have our hotel. Take it
to ourselves.
So for Lautaro to go to Chelsea, I think there's a different pressure there. And I don't think Chelsea is a team that is ready to push for the title. So it's either you go Liverpool, you go Arsenal, or Man City.
Interesting, because they want to sell Darwin, they want to sell Diogo Jota, and they want to sell Luis Diaz also. So there will be a... But we know with FSG, like, they don't have that kind of money. But they need to sell first.
3-4 players.
3-4 players rather than getting one superstar.
Yeah, true. And I was about to ask you, can we compare Lautaro to others like Zeko, Higuain, Immobile, even Crespo, which you mentioned before, and Batistuta?
Zeko was successful with City.
Of course.
I think. So, there's a lot of plus in... if we go back to Luca Vialli, but don't speak about Scamacca.
That's... No. Don't ever speak about Scamacca.
Balotelli, I think, was a flop. Other than that one Manchester derby.
And the final game of the season.
When you talk about Luca Vialli changed everything. And the perception of Italian players coming to the Premier League, along with Gianfranco Zola, along with Bobby Di Matteo. It was Chelsea, but that was a different Chelsea.
Different times.
Different times. So for Lautaro, it's the perfect way to go is either, I think it's Arsenal. If they want to spend, then they have to go to Lautaro.
Okay.
Cool.
We shall see. What do you think, Jebret team? Should Lautaro?
Okay,
let's rewind that a bit. What do you think, Jebret team? Do you think Lautaro should consider a move to Premier League, especially to Arsenal? We're gonna go on our next topic about Arsenal's managerial shakeup, but right after this one.